I'm an intersectional environmentalist that cares about obviously sustainability, but also fair labor practices, and I really hate hyper-consumerism and the normalization of it kind of taking over our culture. How do you think I feel about Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day is truly one of those like peaks of hyper-consumerism, ultra-wasteful consumerist traps, and I'm gonna tell you today about just how bad some of the most typical gifts given on Valentine's Day are, why we shouldn't be buying them, and maybe I'll provide some alternatives along the way, because one of the top comments on one of my recent videos was requesting a Valentine's Day video, which I didn't think you would want. So maybe I don't have the best gauge on what videos you want to see. So this is your opportunity. Leave what you want to see in the comments. It literally might be my next video. Before we get into my rant, my partner and I do not celebrate Valentine's Day. We really haven't for, I think, pretty much the whole time we've been together. I can't remember ever buying specific Valentine's Day gifts for each other. And throughout my life, I've had several partners. Over that time, I've obviously been given several gifts, which at the time, I'm sure I felt great about. Fast forward to today, I no longer have any of those things, which means most likely they're in a landfill somewhere. That fact to me, combined with all the other disclaimers I gave at the very beginning of this video, is the reason that I just kind of removed myself from Valentine's Day, but I'm super curious to hear how you celebrate, if you celebrate. Without further ado, here are some of the reasons I think we should not buy the typical things that people give as Valentine's Day gifts. I started seeing Valentine's Day marketing and things on shelves before New Year's. That will never not bother me when the entire reason that the holiday is being pushed upon us and just like flashing bright red and pink hearts in our faces. It will never not bother me that the only reason that's happening is marketing and for very wealthy people to make more money. Home Goods, Target, Amazon, Valentine's Day decoration hauls are all over the internet already, and it makes me just want to kind of from my perspective, from the content that I see online, it's becoming normalized to not only have different decorations for every holiday, and to make a one-day holiday into like a month-long decoration opportunity. That's also a little bit weird to me. But it's not even just having those decorations and like those being your Valentine's Day decorations. It's repurchasing those like every year, or adding new things to that collection every year. And the reason that I think that it seems so normal is because social media promotes that, right? People who make money on social media have to do hauls. They have to constantly be bringing in new things to keep people's interest. It's like when you really start to think about how much content online is literally just people showing you the new stuff they're buying, it's disturbing. But regardless if you think that's normal or if you're doing that, it is what is being presented on the media. It's very in our faces on the media, and it is impacting what we see as normal and impacting people's habits and our overall culture. And Valentine's Day has to be one of the worst because this stuff is just so cute. Obviously, hearts are so cute, pink and red. It's very adorable. And that trap of kind of falling into, if something is cute, if something is aesthetic, you want to buy it. That is a hard thing to fight against because our human brains, we didn't evolve as fast as consumerism did. You know what I mean? We see something, we like it, we want to have it. It needs to be ours. We have a visitor here. He does not like them talking to you instead of him. I bring up decorations first because I think the consumerism surrounding it all is really maddening, and I think we should be more aware of if we're buying things because we saw them and we thought they were cute instead of buying things because we need them, or maybe even want them and thought about them for a little while. That is the problem. That is the consumerist problem, and it's having a really big impact on our planet. Also, one of the most popular, most famous gifts to give on Valentine's Day are roses, and that's technically a decoration. You put it on display, it's a decoration for your home. But you should know that over 250 million roses, okay, 250 million roses are grown for Valentine's Day, and they're mostly grown in Colombia, Ecuador, and in Kenya. Think of the carbon footprint just starting from the fact that they're flown all over the world from those places. But it gets a little bit worse because they're flown with basically refrigerators. The roses have to sit in cold storage. That takes even more energy on a plane all over the world, okay? The carbon footprint is massive. Many of these farms use harmful pesticides that are banned even in the US, which to me says something, and that's really bad for the workers' health. It also pollutes waterways, and a lot of the workers are also exploited for their labor, leaving with $1 or $2 a day to pick these roses, also that we can have this cute little stereotypical gift that lasts in our home for like a week or two. If you are the person that you are buying like a gift for Valentine's Day for, loves flowers, doesn't want to give up the flower aspect, there are a lot more flowers that are grown more locally, maybe even some that are native that are much more friendly to the planet that you could buy. You could buy a live plant, which I think is a great idea. You can gift seeds so that you can plant something that will reoccur for years and years to come, which I think is a better symbol of love anyway. Is that just me? Last year I was thinking a lot about this, and on Galentine's Day, which I think is officially dubbed as the day before Valentine's Day, I actually hosted a seed making like workshop at my local secondhand craft store to teach people how to make seed bombs so that you could plant native seeds in your yard instead of buying really wasteful, harmful roses for Valentine's Day. And it was really, really cute. I would consider my workshop like an experience gift, and then you also got to go home with your own little seed bombs. But if you're someone who is not really that like attached to the idea of flowers, you could just skip this gift overall. I also hate this notion that like because something is what you're supposed to get on Valentine's Day, that I know people who like want it because it's what they're supposed to want, and I also know people in my life who have given those things because it's what you're supposed to do, and I cannot stand that type of mentality. So maybe just question like if that's something you even really want to have or to give. Just saying. And an even better gift idea could be to give something that is an essential, something someone would want to buy anyway, but maybe a better version of it, which is why we should say thank you to today's sponsor. Just want to take a second to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Wild Deodorant. I switched to Wild, I think almost a year ago now, and I have quickly fallen in love with them. I talked more about why I stopped using the previous deodorant I was using in this video, if you want to go learn more about that. I would much prefer to talk about Wild and why they are so amazing, because they check all of my boxes. What boxes, Shelby, might you be talking about? When I'm looking for a body care product to bring into my routine to repurchase over and over and over again, I look for packaging that is plastic-free and refillable, which Wild is both of those things. I also like to look for plant-based ingredients, so there are no aluminum salts, no parabens, no sulfates. I feel like certified vegan and cruelty-free is a given, like that has to be a box. And one of the most essential things of my vetting process is looking to see what kind of certifications the brand has, and B Corp is like the top tier list of certifications I look for, which Wild has, so we love that. Then there are some bonus boxes I also talk about, like a give back. That's my first bonus box, something I love to see from a brand, and Wild has one because with every purchase they plant a tree. The second bonus box is that they're absolutely adorable, especially this one. I have to tell you that my personal favorite case is my Forever case that has my name on it. This might be a close second. This case is limited edition, but it is aluminum and refillable. And I think a fun way to be festive, even if you don't do the limited edition cases, is they also do limited edition scents. And what a cute Valentine's Day gift for your partner, your bestie, or even yourself. If you are interested, there's a link at the top of the description, and you can use code Shelby2025 for 20% off of all products on Wild. Huge shout out to them for being cute while also being kind to people and planet. Okay, can I ask you, have you heard of a boo basket, a burr basket, a Galentine's Day basket? It's like this never-ending cycle of buying junk. It is literally junk. These are baskets filled with trinkets and snacks. I'm not too mad about the snacks part, okay? Everybody loves a little snack. The really cheap things that either fall apart or no one wants, or it gets stuck somewhere in your home and you have to store it and declutter it one day. I think that's what bothers me about these like unthoughtful, obligatory gift basket type things, is it's often filled with stuff that no one really wants, and it literally ends up as trash. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like, am I the only one who receives gift baskets like that? And I'm like, great, now I'm gonna have to figure out somewhere for this to go because I don't want it. I think there's an aspect of this that we definitely don't talk about enough, and I'm just coming to the realization of this, but there are gifts that are given that are not given for the other person, they're given for the gifter. Does that make sense? Like, I know that I've received gifts because people in my life feel the need to shop, they want an excuse to shop, it makes them feel good to be able to give someone something, but they're not buying it with you in mind. They're not buying it because it's something they know you would find valuable or something you're interested in or something that will make you happy. They're doing it because it fulfills something within themselves. I saw this actually when I made a video about gifts you should never buy, which was really just my opinion and, you know, one of those harsh clickbaity titles. That's how the internet works. But people were saying things like, you're so ungrateful and blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of when I had this realization that, like, I don't have to be grateful for something I didn't ask for and I don't want. I feel like it's actually really selfish to put that on someone else for your own gain. It's not for their gain because, or I'll speak for myself because I don't want it. I don't want the Halloween basket. I don't want the Boo Buddy basket. I don't want any of that stuff. And Valentine's Day baskets are just the most recent culprit of this. And one of the most essential things to go into these Valentine's Day baskets, or just one of the most common gifts overall, obviously, for Valentine's Day is chocolate. And that is an industry that has an atrocious amount of exploitation in it, unethical labor practices, and we need to talk about it. 70% of the world's chocolate comes from West Africa, and the biggest names in candy, which is like Mars and Nestle, have been accused of not only unfair labor practices, but child labor within those regions. And I don't know about you, but it really hits me to think about the fact that a lot of deforestation in the rainforest is due to growing cacao, and we are giving up such essential resources of our planet for this treat. Not to say that we don't ever deserve a little treat, okay? I think we do, but I don't think we should be cutting down some of our most essential resources on the planet for it. And on top of the farming and deforestation and all those sort of things for cacao, there's another element, which is that a lot of these chocolate brands, like I said, Mars, Nestle, Hershey, they have palm oil in them, and a lot of palm oil is grown unsustainably, destroys a ton of habitat for essential species of animals that are struggling because of our need for like a silly little treat to fill a freaking Boo basket or to buy an obligatory heart-shaped box of chocolates on Valentine's Day. Now, that is to say, you can enjoy chocolate ethically and sustainably. There are certifications you can look for and specific brands I could recommend. I actually think I have quite an old blog post on ethical chocolate brands. I'll link that below if I can find it. But you can also look for the labels of Fair Trade, obviously, Rainforest Alliance certified, or Bean to Bar. Those are really good resources to look for when you're buying chocolate. You can make homemade treats instead, which is a little bit easier to find, like like the bare ingredients in an ethical way, and then also make things exactly as you want them and not have to compromise, because a lot of the ethical brands, listen, I'm not a big fan of 92% dark chocolate. That's not my favorite. It's also fun. It's an activity. What a cute Valentine's Day activity, low-key. Making chocolate with your partner or your friends, or skip the chocolate altogether and go to a local bakery, a local chocolatier. And here's another one of my big overall bones to pick. Why do we need to buy something for every holiday? Especially considering most of these holidays did not start out with gift giving at all. The answer is marketing, okay? The answer is corporate greed, marketing, consumerism, capitalism, and I don't want to be a part of that. I would really like to remove myself from that. So I think there is a really good conversation to have here, especially if you're becoming aware of the impacts of the way that we spend our money, the way we vote with our dollars, the way that impacts people and planet, to just remove yourself from these holidays and these obligatory gift-giving activities, especially if it's just you and your partner. I find some of the other holidays are a little bit harder because a lot of my family doesn't really understand my perspective. They don't wake up and go to bed with me every day, but my partner does. Luckily, she also shares in the same values that I have, but even if she didn't, she would understand how important those things are to me, and I hope that your partner or even your friends would be the same way, and so you can have that conversation around hey, I do love you and I do appreciate you, and we can even celebrate Valentine's Day. It just doesn't have to be about the consumerism of it all. Because like I said, 6 months from now, those gifts probably won't mean anything to you anyway. With that in mind, did you know, this blew my mind, that 1 billion Valentine's Day cards are sold every year? 1 billion? With a B? And most of them have glitter, foil, plastic coatings, and most of them get thrown in the trash. And one of the other most stereotypical gifts that people are supposedly getting on Valentine's Day, I've never received this, only seen it in marketing, but it's jewelry, and specifically I want to talk about diamonds. At this point on our journey of this video, it should be no surprise to you that diamond mining is very problematic for deforestation, water pollution, and unethical labor practices. That's where you get the term blood diamond from. Obviously, that's on the high-end scale. I've never received anything like that for Valentine's Day, but I have received more fast fashion jewelry. I'm specifically remembering my last partner before my partner now. My last Valentine's Day, they gave me jewelry that, again, I don't have anymore, but more importantly is really just cheap, falls apart, tarnishes, doesn't last. And that's a whole nother aspect of wasteful gift giving, of buying these gifts that we feel are obligatory or just what we're supposed to do. And a lot of them have been found to contain toxic metals over the years as well, which is not something I want to be wearing on my body on a daily basis. Oh, that might be a good opportunity to say that I made this shirt myself, not the red shirt. I thrifted the velvet part, but then I crocheted these little bows and put them on. Last year, I did make this outfit for my Valentine's Day workshop. I wanted something festive to wear. I used scrap yarn to make these bows, and so I didn't have enough, but I really wish I had made more of these with this bow. I might do that this year. And this necklace is made by a local business here in Texas. It is stainless steel and gold, not plated, filled, which is a way to get jewelry that is not so expensive, but that will last. It will not tarnish. It's really good quality, and I supported a local business. I think it just takes being a little bit more mindful about the options that you're making and not falling into this consumerist trap that is destroying our planet and harming its people. Now, I told you about my outfit because the fast fashion of it of all the holidays, but especially Valentine's Day, I have seen hauls where people are buying from things like Shein because it's very cheap and trying on so many different outfits for Valentine's Day, which at the end of the day, you can only wear one outfit for Valentine's Day. I don't understand why we have like a haul for it, but it's this need to have something new every single holiday. It's this need to have something so niche and so specific. And I think there's a way to take things that you already have and make them more Valentine's Day-esque, or at least to get something that's not so in your face that you would never wear it outside of Valentine's Day, right? I'm not wearing something with heart motifs all over it, pink and red and whatever it is, all year. But this, I wore it throughout the holiday season because it's just red and it does have pink on it, but it's just bows. It's not so in your face. And not only is that a more sustainable way to go about it, but it's a way to save money because I'm not turning around every year and buying new things that I'm only going to wear for like that day or the week or month occasion around Valentine's Day. The full-on holiday we're making it these days. And I will say a lot of this comes down to personal preference. If you or your partner are the type of people who love Valentine's Day, who love flowers or loves, XYZ thing, I still think you can do it. Like my best friend Catherine, she loves Valentine's Day for the simple fact that she loves puns and she loves to make punny cards with like upcycled stuff. She's doing it in a way that aligns with her values and not giving up things that she loves in the name of like being better to the planet. I think you can say that with any of the categories we talked about today, and I kind of gave you some ideas for them. So I would absolutely love to hear if you were inspired by any of the ideas I gave in this video, what you'll be doing for Valentine's Day, maybe the best Valentine's Day gift you ever got. You are always welcome, and it is always appreciated when you share this video with someone who like needs to see it, if you know what I mean. And like I said, this video idea was born out of one of the top comments on one of my recent videos. So let me know what you'd like to see from me. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.